Hi, it's Addie and Shelly. We figured we'd just sit down and recap our Turkey trip that we took a couple weeks ago. We were there for 2.5 weeks in November 2023.
Yeah, so we started in the Cappadocia region, spending around 4 days there. And then we went to Antalya, which is right off the Mediterranean coast, and did a road trip for most of the time when we were in Turkey, going to Pamukkale, to Ephesus, and just drove around the coast to Bodrum, to Fethiye and Kaş, and back to Antalya, and then leaving Istanbul for the last 4 days of our trip.
I was really excited to go to Turkey, and it was an amazing trip. And so we came up with a few reasons why you should visit.
Yeah, your top 5 reasons to visit Turkey.
So starting off strong with the food, I guess prior to going to Turkey, I knew about a handful of stuff. I knew there was tea, there was gözleme, there was pide, but I was really unprepared for how many new items of food that we had to try. And everything was delicious.
Yeah, and there's a very wide spread of the dishes they have. So they're very big on breakfast. So some breakfast can be pretty extensive, with many dishes from cheese to they like their spreads. Obviously simit and a lot of bread. They have an egg dish, menemen. Then they also really like their carbs from pide, gözleme, to their savories, obviously kebab. Then there's doner, and different barbecued meats and then they love their sweets too, desserts, baklava, Turkish delights.
Never really liked Turkish delights before because I just thought the texture was weird, but that all changed for me when I actually had them in Turkey because they just had such a wide range of flavors, I suppose, and it just tastes way better.
Yeah, the second reason is the kind of their natural landscapes they have. Turkey has very diverse sets of landscapes. So you have most popular region Cappadocia, from its hoodoos, the dry landscape kind of looks like Mars. We were there 4 days, and unfortunately we didn't get to see the hot air balloons, but the region itself was still very, very cool to explore, the different caves and hoodoos there. Also there's other landscapes such as Pamukkale, which is kind of white travertine hills, so different rock formations there.
And it looks unreal.
Yeah, and then also the Mediterranean coast. You have really nice beaches over there, and also doing the road trip, you get to really drive right along the coast. You get to go really high up in cliffs, and just get to really see breathtaking views of the Mediterranean. And then to Istanbul itself, it's also a really nice city, just situated in the Bosphorus Strait between Europe and Asia. And we didn't know this, but it's probably the most hilliest city we've been to, which it's a lot of effort walking around, but it just creates really beautiful views of the city.
Reason number 3 would be the Turkish hospitality and friendliness. To be honest, I feel when we first landed, I was just a little worried because it was a different culture that we didn't, or language that we didn't know. But honestly, all of that quickly vanished. People that we interacted with were so friendly. The locals, I mean, and then I never felt unsafe at all. Even when we were walking around at night, we never felt like we got scammed or gypped into paying extra money for anything. And I guess some examples were when we did laundry at a laundromat, and then the guy felt really bad for making us wait, so he prepared some drinks, some juice, some snacks, some cookies for us to have, which was really kind of him. And then also when we were at Pamukkale, it was on the top of a hill, so when we were done we had to walk back down. It was a 30-minute walk, but I think one of the truck drivers saw us, and he just tooted his horn, and we just hopped in with him, and he gave us a lift down the side of the mountain, which was really nice. And just they're just so warm and welcoming.
Yeah.
So it just like was nice vibes all around.
Yeah, the fourth reason is the culture and history. I think Turkish culture is very unique. The blend of Europe and Asia. It's also most people are Muslim, but it's still a secular country. So you see a lot of beautiful mosques, but you still see people wearing a lot of Western clothing. A lot of women there don't wear hijabs, especially in bigger cities. Which is really unique on its own. Yeah, you have a lot of sites from like ancient Greece, from sites of like Ephesus, to more like Islamic history, from like sites such as Hagia Sophia and Blue Mosque. So a lot of things, a lot of history happened in that area. Tea is very big there. I don't think we've drank tea as much as we did over there. They drink it for every meal. I think we drink it every day. There's different flavors, so we still have some apple tea, which is pretty popular in Turkey. And also hammam. The hammam culture is pretty cool. So hammam is Turkish baths. So what essentially is they basically bathe you.
It's like the pinnacle of luxury.
Yeah, so I mean, if you start going in a sauna and then sweat it out, then they kind of just rub your dead skin away, and then
you feel like a newborn baby afterwards.
Yeah, and then with that, they really value cleanliness. So there's always bidets and bum guns in every toilet. Also, just hand wipes is very, very prevalent there. So that's pretty cool.
And the fifth and final reason is the cats. I knew there would be cats, but I was just really unprepared for how many freaking cats there were. And I think part of the reason is because they've been part of Turkish culture for centuries. I guess they're useful for controlling the rodent population, so that's why you won't see any rats around Turkey. And it's also like, I think linked to the Islamic tradition, because apparently
cats are very clean.
Yeah, clean, but also like Prophet Muhammad really liked cats, so it just stemmed from that. Maybe, I don't know. There's an estimated 125,000 cats in Istanbul alone.
In Istanbul alone.
Yeah, for the most part, they're all very friendly. And when you think of strays, you think of like scrawny, like dirty cats, but no, these cats are well groomed. They're well fed. I think the community like just collectively looks after them. Like you'll see like little bowls of food and water left out everywhere. And honestly, like it's so nice. The whole country is just like one big cat cafe. Yeah, and so it just made my time away from my cat a little easier. So yeah, that's the reason why you should come to Turkey.
Yeah, the top 5 reasons why you should.
Obviously a lot more, but these are coming from our experience. We really like the country. Would love to go back someday if we can.
See the hot air balloons.
To do that, and maybe go when the weather's a little nicer.
Yeah.
For the beaches, but all in all, good trip.